I am a signal interpreter for SETI, and last night we detected a transmission from a dead star, a star that died 1,000,000 years before humans existed. The message wasn't from aliens. It was a warning about Earth, specifically about me. Now, government agents are at my door, my colleagues are disappearing, and the voice from the dead star keeps whispering coordinates to a place that shouldn't exist. It says I'm the only one who can stop what's coming, but to do that, I have to make a choice that could end humanity. The static of deep space was my white noise, the endless cosmic background radiation my daily companion. For 15 years, I'd sat in the sterile silence of the Allen Array, listening for a signal that never came. Dr. Iris Thorne, the man who traded human conversation for the hope of an alien hello. My wife called it my one-sided relationship with the universe. She left 2 years ago. The universe, at least, was consistent in its silence until last Tuesday. It began as a blip, an anomaly in the data stream so faint that the automated filters almost scrubbed it. But my eye caught the pattern, a repeating sequence of prime numbers embedded in what appeared to be gravitational wave distortions. The source was the kicker. It originated from the coordinates of NGC 2447, a white dwarf star that had burned out its nuclear fuel over 1,000,000 years ago. A dead star, broadcasting. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic bird in a cage of bone. This was it, the moment every SETI scientist dreams of. First contact. I isolated the signal, running it through every decoder and linguistic algorithm we had. The prime numbers were a header, a universal, "we are intelligent" flag. What followed was different. It wasn't a complex mathematical language or a peaceful greeting. It was a scream. A data stream of immense complexity unfolded on my screen. It contained schematics for technologies I couldn't comprehend, energy sources that twisted physics, biological constructs that defied genetics. And woven through it all, like a dark thread through gold, was a warning. It wasn't about asteroids or solar flares. It was about a cognitive parasite, a consciousness that existed in the spaces between dimensions, that fed on sentient thought and left worlds as silent, barren husks. The transmission called it the stillness. My blood ran cold as the translation refined. The parasite was drawn to specific neural patterns, to minds that could perceive higher dimensions. And the transmission contained a profile, a genetic and psychological fingerprint of the ideal host. It was my fingerprint. Every detail, from my rare neurosynaptic configuration to the specific sequence of my genome, was laid bare in a signal sent from a star that died before my species learned to walk upright. A soft knock at my office door made me jump. 2 men in impeccably bland suits stood there. They didn't flash badges, but their authority was a physical presence. "Dr. Thorne, we need you to come with us. There's been a development." They took me to a subterranean facility that didn't exist on any map. The walls were lead-lined, the air recycled and tasteless. A General Cartwright, a man with eyes like chips of flint, laid it out for me. "We've been aware of the transmission for 72 hours, Doctor. You are the 7th interpreter to work on it. The other 6 are unavailable." "Unavailable?" I echoed, my voice hollow. 2 are catatonic, 3 committed suicide in ways that defy explanation. 1 simply vanished from a locked room. He leaned forward, his desk a vast expanse of polished steel. "This signal is a weapon, a sophisticated psionic attack. And you, Dr. Thorne, are its primary target. They put me in a quarantine room, a comfortable prison with sensors monitoring my every vital sign, my every brainwave. That's when the voice started. It wasn't in the air. It was in my mind, a thought that was not my own. It was ancient, vast, and terrifyingly lonely. A race. I jolted upright on the cot. Who's there? We are the last, the final echo of a star that remembered its name. We have been waiting for you. The transmission, I whispered. It is our tombstone and our warning. The parasite you call the stillness approaches your world. IT has tasted your civilization's emerging psionic field. IT hungers. Why me? I asked the question a desperate plea. Your consciousness resonates on a frequency it cannot ignore. You are a beacon in the cosmic dark. To save your world, you must become something else. You must become a shield. The voice showed me things then. Visions of other worlds, lush and vibrant, reduced to absolute screaming silence. Cities stood empty, their inhabitants reduced to mindless husks, their consciousness devoured. I felt the approach of the stillness, a wave of nullity that erased thought, memory, and soul. There's a place, the voice continued. A relic from a war fought before your sun ignited. A weapon. You must journey there. A set of coordinates burned themselves into my mind. Not celestial coordinates, but terrestrial ones. A location in the deep desert of Xinjiang, China. A place that, according to all satellite imagery, was a barren, empty basin. General Cartwright didn't believe me. A voice in your head, a magical weapon in China? Doctor, the stress has broken you. We're moving you to a more secure psychiatric facility. I knew what that meant. I'd never see the outside world again. I had to run. Using knowledge gleaned from the transmission, a way to manipulate electromagnetic fields that bordered on magic, I shorted out the facility T's power for 17 seconds. It was enough. I slipped past the disoriented guards and into the cold desert night. The journey was a blur of stolen cars, covert border crossings, and a constant gnawing fear. The voice was my only companion, guiding me, teaching me to hide my mental signature from the approaching stillness, which I could now feel as a growing pressure at the edge of my perception, a silent scream waiting to happen. I finally stood at the coordinates. Nothing. Just wind-scoured rock and endless sky. Despair washed over me. Look with more than eyes, the voice whispered. I closed my eyes and reached out with a new sense the voice had awakened in me, and I felt it. A vibration in reality itself, a fold in space-time. I took a step forward and the desert vanished. I stood in a cavern of impossible geometry. The walls were a seamless, glowing metal inscribed with languages from dead stars. In the center of the cavern floated a crystal that contained a swirling nebula of light. This was the weapon, the shield. It can generate a psionic null field, the voice explained. IT will make your world invisible to the parasite, but the energy required, IT must be fueled by a consciousness, a sacrifice. The truth crashed down on me. This wasn't a weapon I could fire. It was a prison I would inhabit. My mind, my consciousness, would become the battery, trapped for eternity in this crystal, holding the shield in place while my body withered and died. The choice is yours, Earth's Thorn. A single life for billions? Oh, our freedom. And the end of all, you know. I thought of my ex-wife, laughing in our garden. I thought of the bustling cities, the art, the music, the messy, beautiful noise of humanity. I thought of the endless, silent universe and the one tiny, noisy corner of it that was my home, The government team found the entrance hours later. They stormed the cavern, weapons raised. General Cartwright saw me standing before the glowing crystal, my hand outstretched. "Thorn, step away from that thing," he barked. I looked at him, and for the first time, I felt a peace that surpassed all understanding. "I found the weapon, General. I'm activating it now." I didn't give him time to respond. I placed my palm against the crystal. The pain was beyond anything I could have imagined. It was not a physical pain, but the agony of my consciousness being unraveled and rewoven into a cosmic tapestry. I felt my memories, my loves, my fears, all being siphoned away, converted into pure psionic energy. I screamed, but no sound came out. And then it was done. I am still here. I am the shield. I feel the stillness outside, a vast, hungry presence scratching at the edges of the field I maintain. I feel the billions of minds on Earth, their thoughts a distant, comforting murmur. They are safe. They will never know how close they came to silence. General Cartwright had my body buried with honors. A hero who died in the line of duty. They never found the cavern again. It folded back into a reality they cannot perceive. Sometimes in the quiet moments between the thoughts of humanity, I remember what it was like to be a Reese Thorn, to feel the sun on my skin, to love. The voice from the dead star is silent now. Its purpose is fulfilled, but I am not alone. I am the last broadcast of Station Void, a signal of sacrifice echoing forever in the dark, ensuring that the universe, for one small world, is never completely silent.